Hi yogis. So I have a special class for you focusing on the health of the lower back. The lumbar spine or the lower back takes a lot of pressure, and I think that most of us know what it feels like when it's not quite right, when it's not happy. There could be many reasons for low back pain, and I'm not gonna go into all of those. And by any means, this is not an exhaustive practice that I'm giving you because there are so many reasons for low back pain, from injuries, habitual holding patterns. There's often emotion, psychology involved. But we will do what we can do in the time that we have. And the exercises that I'm going to give you will be both soothing for the back and also mobilizing the hips, the spine, and strengthening the hips, strengthening the legs, because this is very important for the health of the lower back. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so first we are going to lie down close to the wall, measuring the distance in such a way that when you lie down, you're going to have your lower legs parallel to the floor, your feet are together, and you want right angle in the knees. And then as I press the feet against the wall, I want to feel how the lower back is pressing down towards the floor. So that there's naturally, of course, a curve, but as you press the feet, you are trying to press the back down, because this is very soothing for the back. And also you will feel that the abdomen softens. And just stay there for a moment, pressing the feet against the wall. And as you release the feet, see what happens, see how that affects the curve in the lower back. And then you can stretch the arms up towards the ceiling and taking the arms overhead as you are pressing the feet against the wall, and just see how that feels as you lengthen the sides of the body, lengthen the spine. Taking a few breaths here. And then you can release the arms back to the side. Now we are going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So we are going to take the soles of the feet together, so feet are on the floor, and you are going to press the toes against the wall, just letting the knees come out to the side. And as you press the feet against the wall, again feeling that action of kind of flattening the lower back, and also the pubic bone is moving up towards the chest. Yes, there's that movement in the hips as I press the toes against the wall. So let's put it like this. The pubic bone, if you think of it, the pubic bone belongs to the chest, to the upper body, and then the tailbone, the very base of the spine, belongs to the legs, to the heels. And then again, from there, you can bring your arms up towards the ceiling and overhead, continuing to press the toes against the wall and see how that feels on the lower back. And hopefully that feels good, because the low back is now broadening from the center out to the side. Don't forget to breathe, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. And then bringing the arms up and to the side again. Okay, and now you're going to keep your left leg where it is in half Baddha Konasana, and your right leg will go out to the side like this, so that the knee is in the right angle, the foot is parallel to the floor, and as you press the foot against the wall, just see what happens to that right hip. Yeah, there's a kind of an elongation on that side of the back. So you are encouraging the external rotation in the hip, which is very important to have especially with low back pain. And just stay there for a moment. So it's kind of the action that we want here in the hip when we do poses such as the warrior pose 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, and then from there you can release. You can bring your foot back into Baddha Konasana. And one more time, bring the arms up and overhead. Pressing the toes against the wall. And then arms up and again by the side. And changing sides now. So taking your left leg out to the side. So it's not too low to the floor because you want to be leveled on the sacrum. And it will depend on the mobility in your hip. So if you are quite stiff in the hips, the foot might go even higher. Yeah, so you want to feel that you are leveled in the hips. And then again, pressing the foot is turning out, press the foot against the wall, and see what happens, how that elongates the left side of the lower back, the sacrum. And there is a kind of an action that you start to feel in the hip, in the buttock especially, and this is very, very, very good for the lower back. So you're strengthening the gluteal muscles. Okay, and then you can come back into Baddha Konasana position with the soles of the feet together for a few moments. And now feel the difference. So see if you can feel there's a bit more awareness in the buttocks on both sides after what you've done. And now you can bring your knees back together. You're going to bring your feet back on the wall. Again, pressing the feet against the wall, especially the heels. And now we are going to slowly come away from the wall. So taking the feet down lower, you can shuffle first. And then taking the feet all the way to the floor. Keep your feet slightly apart. And then, so when the knees are just slightly bent and you want to make sure your heels are still on your mat, as you are going to push the feet against the wall, catch hold of the sides of the mat. And then slowly straighten the legs. As you straighten the legs with traction, yes, I'm pulling them out. I'm going to do it one more time. So let's do this together again. So bend your knees slightly, catch hold of the mat, and then as you push the feet against the wall and you slowly straighten the legs, notice how the tailbone is moving towards the heels, while the shoulders are also moving down. So creating this traction in the spine, which is very good for the back. One more time, catching hold of the mat. So again, you're kind of lessening the curve of the lower back. So very often there is pain in the back when that curve in the lumbar is exaggerated. And just stay there for 3 moments. Pressing the feet evenly against the wall, the ball mounts of the big toes, the little toes, and the heels pressing against the wall. And the legs are active, the kneecaps are sucked in and pulled up. And then from here, you're going to stretch the arms up and take your arms overhead. As you take your arms over, just see that you don't do anything to the lower back, so the lower back stays down. Then you can do that a few times, taking the arms to the sides and over. So you're also mobilizing the shoulders, but not by the expense of lifting the low back. Yeah? So you're feeling that the movement is coming from the shoulders while keeping the back steady. And then staying there for a moment, pressing the feet against the wall's tail. Remember, the pubic bone belongs to the chest and the tailbone to the legs. And then bring your arms back to the sides. And now we are going to have a belt. And we are also going to have a brick. And I want you to have one brick for underneath your left foot. And so again, lying down, you're going to bend your right knee towards you and just hugging the knee with your hands, pulling it up towards the chest as high as you can. Take a few breaths. And now from there, you're going to take a belt. And with the belt around your heel, pulling at the belt with the hands, pushing with your foot against the belt, spreading the toes as you stretch the leg up towards the ceiling. And you want to go where the knee is straight. So if the knee is not straight, then you take your foot back more towards the wall. So it's important that the knee strengthens, and at the same time pressing the opposite foot down on that brick. And just staying here. This is very, very good for the low back. Also, I feel like I keep repeating myself. It's all good for the lower back. That's why we are doing it. Right? So I'm staying here for about 30 seconds or more. What we are doing here is we are allowing the head of the thigh bone, your femur, to go down deep into the hip socket. So again, this is very soothing to the lower back. Keep spreading the toes, extending through the ball mount of the big toe, the little toe, and the center of the heel, pulling at the belt with the hands at the same time. All right, and then you can bend your knee, release the belt, and moving the brick to the other side. So I'm going to take my left foot down on that brick, bending the other knee. So your left knee is bending. So the right foot is on the brick, the left knee is bending now. And again, so with your fingers hugging around the knee and pull the knee up towards you. So that movement of the knee up is very nice because it lengthens the lumbar spine. And breathing. And sometimes the knee kind of wants to move out. See if you can keep it up, straight up. And try and soften the hips, soften the groin as best you can. And now you're going to put the belt around your heel bone again, and straighten the leg up slowly. So as you pulling with the hands at the same time, pushing the foot against the belt until you straighten the leg completely. Sucking the kneecap in and out. If you saw the video on the knees, you remember how we are trying to reach up with both the inner and the outer heads of the calf muscle over the knees, spreading the toes, pulling at the belt, allowing the head of the femur, the thigh bone go down deep into the hip socket. And again, staying here for about half a minute. Okay, and then you're going to bend your knee, take your belt off, and you can just bend both knees, and you can hug your hands around both knees, pull them up towards you. So again, and just softening around the hips, softening the low back. This is very soothing. Take a few breaths here. Okay, and then we are going to take that break. I'm going to do it the lazy way, using my feet. And you're going to take the break to the outside. So first your right leg. I'm doing my left so that you can see me. And you're going to again straighten the opposite leg. This time you have your foot on the floor. And we are going to first take the leg out to the side. And if it doesn't land on the break, so you want to bring the outer thigh in contact with the brick. And if it doesn't do that, then you will need to have the brick higher. Yeah. So you decide what you need, and then also get that belt. So let's start here first. Then you're going to put your belt around your foot and hold it from the inside. So the leg is already out, so it's already extended and rotated, because now we are going to do Parshva Supta Baddha Konasana, Supta Utthita, sorry, Supta Konasana. I'm totally mixed up there with my head. Parangustasana, Supta Parangustasana. Sorry about that. So now when the leg is already out, then you're going to straighten the leg out to the side. Yeah, so it's better than, rather than going up first and then to the side, that the leg is already out when it's bent first. And just staying here, breathing. So the outer leg is supported. And then trying, as you push your left heel against the wall, trying to get the thigh back down. And breathing. Feel the broadness of the abdomen. All right, and then bending your knee. We are going to change sides, so stretch both legs against the wall. Have the brick ready for the outside of the other hip, your left hip. So you're going to bend your left knee up again towards you. And while pressing the other foot against the wall. And then get that belt on your foot ready and let the knee come out to the side. So until the upper leg is resting down on your support, on your brick, and just stay there for a moment. And so Supta Parangustasana 2 it is on the other side. So now you're going to straighten the leg out to the side. So it's your left leg now. Make sure your foot is active, extending through the ball mount of the big toe. And then from here, opening the groin from left side to the right side as you broaden the abdomen. So all those leg stretches are very good for the lumbar spine, for the lower back. I used to have a lot of low back pain, but thanks to yoga, not anymore. Okay, and then you can bend your knee, and you can release the belt, and you can again come back here, hugging both knees. Okay, so now we are going to do a dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's have 2 bricks, and we are going to have them slanted by the wall. If your wrists are healthy, there's no weakness, the bricks are in about 45-degree angle, but if there is any pain in your strain in your wrist, then have them a bit lower down. Okay, so the bricks are shoulder width apart. Press the hands on your bricks. Tuck your toes under. You're going to lengthen the buttocks back as you press the fingers, the mounts of the index fingers especially against the brick, flattening back. So you're trying to bring your hips back as much as you can. And now from there, you're going to lift the buttocks up as high as you can without coming towards the wall. All right, and then staying here, breathing, lengthening the sides of the body, lifting the buttocks high, kneecaps are sucked and pulled up. So this is helping you to bring the shoulder blade area deep in against the back ribs. And as a result, then the buttocks go up higher. All right, and then you can bend the knees, come down. You can take a little rest. And now we are going to do a second one. We're going to turn around, and this time, so spread the fingers apart, pressing the hands down so the hands are shoulder width, and have the fingers turned out so that roughly the index fingers are facing forward. Then you're going to place your feet on your bricks, on your slanted bricks. And this is a nice way to do it for the low back because the heels are supported. You can really press against the bricks, you feel safe, and then you can lift the buttocks up and move them back. So creating space for the lumbar. And stay here and breathe. Okay, and then you can bend the knees down, and again you can just rest for a moment. Adho Virasana. All right, and we are going to now come up, and we are going to move on to some standing poses, starting with warrior number 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. And we are going to do it again with the brick slanting. Right, so keep your brick as it is. You're going to place your right foot first on the brick with the heel on the floor, and then stepping your left foot back well. So you have good distance between the feet. Stretch the arms out to the sides from the center of the chest. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to bend your right knee and trying to come towards the right angle. Keep your right arm straight with the fingertips just at the wall. Yeah, so what you don't want to do is that. So as your arm is straight, you're trying to elongate the right side of the body. If you remember at the start of the class, we were making that action of the leg when we were doing the Baddha Konasana. So just stay and breathe. This is very good to strengthen the hips, which all really helps with the back. And then coming up, turn your feet forward, step the feet together, and then turn around to the second side. I'm gonna do the same side again so that I don't turn away from you. But you now have the left foot on the brick, the right foot away. And again, so stretch the arms out to the sides from the center of the chest. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, and bending your left knee now, making a right angle, pressing the fingertips against the wall if the wall is there, and elongating the left side of the body, of the trunk. And breathing. And what this does, the way the foot is slanting up, it helps you to bring the femur head deep into the hip socket. So again, this is very good for the hips, but also the low back. All right, then as you breathe in, you can come back up and just stand in Tadasana, feet together, take a few breaths. And we are going to move on to Trikonasana. So now you have the brick in the same way. Have a second one for your hand. And you're going to bring your right foot first on your slanted brick, taking the left foot well back, making sure that your right thigh is turning from inside out. So kneecap is looking straight up towards the ceiling. And then first stretching your right arm up towards the ceiling with the palm facing away, elongating the whole right side of the body from the hip all the way up. Taking a breath in, as you breathe out, then take your hand to the wall. But first, just walk your hands up the wall so you keep that length in the spine on that side. Make sure legs are firm, pulling up the kneecaps in and up, turning the abdomen, the chest. And then you can stretch the other arm out and take the left hand to the right hand. So the both sides of the body are long. And now from there, you're going to bring your right hand down to your brick, if you can. Or if that's too low for you, you can take it on the leg. And then with your left fingertips, as you press against the wall, you're turning the hips up, the navel, the chest. So getting more space in the chest. And then once you have real good turn here, then you can stretch the arm up. Breathing, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. So again, this pose, the femur head, the thigh bone is well in the hip socket. All right, then as you inhale, then you can come back up. And we're going to change sides. So you're going to turn around. I'm going to stay on the same side. I'm going to do the other side later so that I don't turn away from you. So this time, taking your left foot on the slanted brick, right foot away, and rotate in the left thigh from inside out. And stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling, palm faces away from you, lengthening from the hip all the way up. And then from there, extending, lengthening. Take your fingers, walk your fingers up the wall first. And then stretch the other arm out. So your right arm, and then bring it overhead. So both sides of the body are elongating evenly. And then you're going to take your left hand down. And as you press your right fingertips against the wall, turn, keep turning the hips up, the navel, the chest, soft shoulder back. And then from there, just stretch the arm up. All right, and as you breathe in, you can come back up, turn your feet forward, and step the feet back together. See how you feel, how you are now. Okay, so now I've got my mat the length of the wall, and we are going to do a really nice pose for the lower back. It's a twist, and it's called Uttita Marichiyasana. I've got 2 bricks, and also 4 blocks and a chair. Note the height. So it's kind of important to get that kind of height, and if you don't have all the 4 blocks, you could improvise, maybe use books or whatever you have. So you're going to stand with your left heel on the brick, and then take your right foot on the height of the blocks. And then here I've got this brick like so, between the hip and the wall. So it gives me stability, because when I'm turning, just have a look for a moment, lengthening through the front first, so you kind of don't do this. Yeah, so remember your pubic bone belongs to the chest, and your tail to your heel. And lifting and then turning so that the hip doesn't turn with me because I have the brick, right? Okay, so right foot is up on the height, left heel is on your brick. And then, so lift the pubic bone, the navel, the chest, roll the shoulders back. And you can stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling first, lengthening, elongating the left side of the body. And as you breathe out, taking the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, and taking your right hand on the wall. And as you breathe in, then lengthening through the front body. And as you breathe out, then turning to the side, so to the right side first. Lifting and turning. So it's a really nice twist. Working with your breath, inhaling, creating space, exhaling, turning more. All right, and then you can come back to center, and you're going to do the other side. So I am going to do that with you. Taking the chair to the other side. And now I'm taking my right heel on the brick. I've got my other brick ready. I'm gonna take my left foot up on the block. So you want the leg to be kind of in the right angle so that the shin bone is perpendicular to the floor, and then you have the brick between the hip, the left hip, and the wall. As you breathe in, stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling and really lengthening. As you press the heel down on the brick, press the other heel down on the blocks, lengthening the right side of the body. And as you breathe out, take your hand to the outside of the leg. Take your left fingertips to the wall. Take your arm to a place where it helps you to turn. Inhaling, lifting the front, and exhaling, turning to the side, lifting and turning. And think of also gripping the hips towards each other. And again, so that brick is there between the hip and the wall to help you to stabilize the pelvis so you don't move your left hip back. And then you can come back to center. And we are going to do reverse trikonasana now in this way. So it's a very beneficial pose for the back. I'm gonna have my chair with the back against me and then step in the feet wide. In fact, I'm standing sideways with my right hip close to the wall. I'm going to bend the knees and I'm going to step my left foot forward and my right foot back, so that my left foot is in front, right foot is behind, and then I can bring my chair closer to me. And you want the hip to be touching the wall. And then, so like before, you want to lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling first, extending, lengthening forward, taking the hand down to the seat of the chair, and then I'm pressing my left hand on the top of the chair and then turning. You can bring your hand down lower along the leg of the chair if you can, and I'm trying to bring the top shoulder on the wall without collapsing the hip too much. It will go down somewhat. So both shoulders are at the wall, breathing. And then you can come up. And I will do the other side. So move the chair slightly to the left side. You're going to turn your feet to the other side. This time taking your right foot forward. I started with the other leg, it doesn't really matter so much. And the left foot back. And you want the left hip to be touching the wall. And as you breathe in, then stretching your left arm up towards the ceiling. And elongating, lengthening forward, trying to keep the hips leveled as best you can. And then take your hand, your left hand, to the seat of the chair, right hand on top. As you press your right hand down, and then from there, trying to turn the trunk up. Got the rope in a way. Top shoulder back. Trying to keep the hips stable. Press the right inner foot down, ball mount with the big toe, and think of elongating the inner foot forward from the inner heel towards the inner toe of the front foot. All right, and then we can come up from there. And now we are going to do a twist sitting on the chair. So we are going to do one sitting sideways. And because I am taller, I know that I'm going to need a block to sit on. If you are shorter, you may not need it. So I'm sitting sideways, and I'm also going to have a break between the thighs, yeah, like so. So the break is like that between the thighs, so you've got something to press against. And then lift the navel, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down, taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to turn to the right side, lifting and turning, lifting, turning, bringing both hands to the back of the chair. As you inhale, think of creating space and expansion, and as you exhale, then turning. As you pull with your left hand, push with the right to turn to the right side. Yeah, so pulling with your left, pushing with the right, and then turning. And just make sure that your hips are still leveled, that your buttock bones are even on the chair. And by having that brick between the thighs, it's helping you to keep the pelvis steady. So you're not moving your right hip back. And then you can come back to center. And then for the other side, I'm going to move my chair the other way. All right, so first pulling at the back of the chair to roll the shoulders back, to lift the navel, to lift the chest up. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, then begin to turn to your left side. Take hold of the backrest of the chair with both hands. So you're going to now push or pull with your left one, push with the right, inhaling, lifting, exhaling, turning. So pulling with the left hand, pushing with the right hand as you turn to the left side. Did I say that wrong? I think I did. I'm usually mirroring, of course, in the class, and I'm doing the same side now. So forgive me. So you're pulling with your right hand and you're pushing with your left hand as you turn to the left side. Okay, and then you can come back to center. And we are nearly at the end. We are now going to do Prasarita Paratanasana. And these poses are great to strengthen your hips, your low back, to mobilize. But of course, if you have a lot of pain, you might want to leave some of them. So you might just do the supine ones at the start of the class and then just rest in Shavasana, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Right, so taking the feet wide apart, heels on the back edge of the mat, spreading the toes apart well. See that your feet are in line, kneecaps are sucked in and pulled up, and then from the hips you're going to come forward. And you've got the chair here so that you can keep the back straight. So you're going to take the hands to the top of the chair and then feel as if you want to push forward, push the chair forward, keeping the buttocks right over the heels. And if your back is straight, then you might want to take your hands down lower. And you can rest here for a moment. But if you are stiff in the hamstrings, if you are rounding the back, then just stay up higher. Stay up, holding the top of the chair. And if you are not sure whether your back is straight or rounded, then it's a good thing to do the practice with a mirror beside you, so you can actually see, you get a sense of what it feels like and also what it looks like. Yeah, the mirror can be a really good teacher. All right, and then we can come up. That's a very relaxing pose. Eventually. Okay, next I want to show you a variation on Bakasana, which is very, very nice for the lower back. I often do it to release after doing back bending poses. So if you sit yourself on the chair, you've got your two bricks, and we're going to take the bricks forward. And so lengthening, just first see that you are even on your sitting bones, and you're going to lengthen the upper body, and you're going to come forward, and you're going to take your hands on your bricks and just slide the bricks forward and go as far as you can. Don't let the knees play out like this, but try to keep your knees compact, to the sides of the trunk. And when you try to bring your knees towards each other, you feel there's this nice kind of spreading action on the lower back. And also at the same time, keep the buttocks down. And then from there, if you want to, you can bring your hands down and you can take your hands back underneath the chair, squeezing the knees towards the shoulders if it's not too intense. If it's too intense, then don't do it. You can just do the one you just did a moment ago and just stay in that. So again, you can feel the nice compactness in the hips and the kind of broadness, broadening in the lower back. All right, and then you can come up and we are ready for Shavasana. If you have a blanket, then please have a blanket. And you will need your belt, and we will keep that chair. I'm going to stay here at the wall, even though I wouldn't want to be too close to the wall, because then you wouldn't have enough space for the arms. Okay, so I've got a blanket on the chair, and this is a very good tool to have. To do Shavasana in this way is very nice for the lumbar spine. Very nice, soothing for the lower back. And just doing this without any other, any big practice will help you to soothe the lower back and to take the pain away often. Okay, so we've got a belt also, and the belt will be around your knees. So your belt is the width of the hips around your knee joints. And then I'm sitting close to my chair. I'm going to take the lower legs on the chair. If you have a chair that you can't take the feet through, then you might want to turn the chair the other way. Just work with what you have. You've got the knees on the edge, and then the thighs are slightly slanted. Making sure that the chin is down lower than the forehead, tucking the shoulders under well, palms are facing up, chin is down lower than the forehead, as I just said, and then just letting go. So let yourself feel as the belt is holding the knees in place, then all the little muscles around your back, the lower back, can just completely let go. So it's a very soothing Shavasana for the lower back. So just softening your face, all the facial muscles, your jaw, your tongue, your throat. Using the breath out to let go. Letting go of any remaining tension in the body. And just staying for as long as you need to, at least 10 minutes. I'm going to say goodbye now, so well done. And I shall see you in the next video or live class.